suspension. But more than anything, just getting him back into the mix. The game has felt a void with him not there. He's been such a big force the last couple of seasons. To not have him at these big tournaments has just felt wrong.
Andy, if there's anything that could be rusty for a guy who hasn't played matches in 3 months, what area would that be for Sinner?
Just the pacing of matches, right? And we forget, like, Rome is a massive event for him, right? And since he's become the Jannik Sinner that's multiple Grand Slam winner, world #1, he hasn't played in Rome. Didn't get to play it last year. We didn't know why at the time. We figured it out later. But there's going to be some pressure there beyond just coming back. I understand it's a good place and he's going to have the support of the crowd, but that's a different type of pressure also. You know, he left the game 3 months ago, and I don't know that there was much that could have caused him insecurity beyond just not knowing where you're at. And you can rarely find that during practice, right? You can feel good hitting the ball. You go out there, match conditions. It's just different. I know for sure the rest of the tennis world, we're probably going to overreact to whatever happens in the first couple of rounds in Rome.
Never made it past the quarterfinals in Rome. Clay, not his best surface, but still, you know, #1 in the world and has done some incredible things overall. For Jannik Sinner coming back here, is it easier or harder, the fact that it's in Rome?
It's probably harder because of the heightened, you know, intensity, because that's his biggest tournament home, you know, outside of the Tour Finals these days. But he handles the Tour Finals pressure fine, no problem. Look, I don't know what ceiling I would want to put on him. I feel like quarterfinals is a good target for him. We haven't seen the draw yet, so we don't know what challenges lie in wait there. From my own personal experience, the thing that came back slowest was returning serve, because that's the ball that's traveling the quickest at you. Can he get his timing and his footwork right for that early on? I suspect he's going to be just fine. Didn't have the holes in his game that I did.
Andy, 21-match winning streak. I mean, this guy hasn't lost since last October, and that was the final, and it was against Carlos Alcaraz, who, by the way, of his 6 losses last year, 3 came against Alcaraz. Did you see that as one of the greatest seasons of all time?
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you, and Jim was calling it. What he did at World Tour Finals last year, when guys weren't able to get to 5 in a set against him, and then he comes back and wins Australia. And by the way, this was all with all of this scrutiny already around him. It's not as if he's dealing with it for the first time coming back in Rome. Yes, he's had an extended layoff. Yes, it's on his least favorite surface. Yes, there's some hometown pressure, but he knew playing the Cincinnati final last year before going to the U.S. Open that this news was going to come out on a Monday. You know, he's dealt with a lot of the pressure sets that's going to come along with this. I got to think he's going to, you know, feel a little bit of relief just getting back to, you know, normalcy of some sort. Rome matters, but I also think that kind of slow playing it in Roland Garros, getting some reps in, it's going to be easier to get through, play your way into form at Roland Garros than it will be at Rome. He's got to just look for health and just swing away.
Yeah, there's something for us to talk about, maybe over at TC Lives during Rome. What's his worst surface? Is it grass? Is it clay? It's not hard court. We know that. But one thing that he discussed feeling in Australia this year when he was playing so well and dominating was how uneasy he felt in the locker room around his peer group. He felt judged because of the doping suspension, and I'm certain that the uncertainty doesn't help. But when you've got some players really coming hard at you in social media and in regular media, challenging, you know, what is it fair what he's going through, that put him on his back foot. And now that that's behind him, will he be able to get comfortable in the locker room again? That's a little sort of sidebar into what he's dealing with.
No, that's a great point. And the fact that it didn't disrupt his play on the court just speaks to the way he's able to compartmentalize mentally. You talk a little bit, Jim, about what he's been working on the past 3 months. Where can this guy improve?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he gets a wee bit more comfortable at the net finishing, but the movement has already just been incredibly improved, right? His ability to play defense and turn that aspect into an offensive situation is as good as anyone's in the game right now. Does he create more variety? Maybe he's adding a little bit more of the backhand drop shot. He's added the forehand drop shot. There's some areas that he can always be working on to just have more options to tackle the opponents. But if he comes back as good as he was, that's plenty good enough, for sure.
What do you think, Andy? What would you want to add to Jannik Sinner's game at this point?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a loss like Jim. He has worked on that drop shot. It normally comes when he's moving to his forehand side. He normally hits the drop shot cross court, which is different than what Carlos Alcaraz does. He's normally moving left and kind of dancing left. Bringing that foot up on a serve, he gets way more movement on that deuce side. I feel like he's getting another 2-3 feet of movement with when you have the firepower that he does off of both sides, creates a real problem for his opponents. The other thing that we need to mention, like we say it's not his best service on clay, and I think that's kind of universally accepted and right. He was also up 2-1 against Carlos. He almost won the French Open last year.
Yeah.
Right. Like
I
he
think grass
is a
is his worst,
contender,
to be
even though
honest.
it's not his best surface.
I think he's more vulnerable on grass than clay, personally. But let's do a big segment on that next week. There's one thing that if I could add for him on behalf of all the redheads in the world, maybe a little more melanin in his skin, so he doesn't need as much sunscreen on a go-forward basis.
SPF 10,000 is what he needs.
That would be great. Or only play night matches.
There